What's up, everybody? Back here for episode 78 of the Pitside podcast. We've got a great episode for you this week. We're going to talk with our newest sponsor of our Xfinity series, Olivia Olsen, and she's working with the charity, so we're going to talk to her about that just a little bit. And then we're going to jump into some new information and a couple of schedule adjustments, so you won't want to miss any of it. If you stay tuned, we'll get started in just a minute.
Welcome to the Pitside Podcast, where we discuss the latest news and developments in the Coast to Coast Racing League, as well as other racing news inside and out of iRacing. Here's your host, the Ayla Outlaw, Preston Cranmer, and Roger, the Bassman, Craig.
Really excited this week to have a very special guest on. Our newest sponsor, very unique sponsorship, Olivia Olsen. How you doing tonight, Olivia?
Great. How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
I was doing really well until we just talked a moment ago and you said right now you're in Naples, Florida, and that hurt. That hurt a bit. But no, everything's going great, and I can't thank you enough for stepping up and sponsoring the hottest new division we got, the Xfinity series. Have you seen any of the races? Like, are you cheering on Dad, or what's going on there?
I won't lie. He sends me some clips here and there. I do watch them, but I don't actively watch, which I apologize. But
You don't have to apologize to us. Your dad's probably feelings are hurt,
no, they're super fun. The ones he sends me, I absolutely watch. It's fine.
So before we even get into this, I do want to get one thing clarified here. I just wanted your opinion on this. Like, do you think your dad talks too much?
No, never. I am my father's daughter. I can never say that.
Oh, okay. There you go. I thought I could get some rivalry going there.
Maybe
But
from the other two. Maybe from the other two.
okay.
Not me. Not me.
So we've got this sponsorship. Alex, no, is it Alex?
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, Alex and Olivia's race against childhood cancer. So tell us a little bit about that and give us some of the background.
Yeah, so Alex and I are Race Against Childhood Cancers based on Penn State and their thon, which is a 46-hour, no sitting, no sleeping dance marathon, which supports Four Diamonds, which is one of Penn State's children's hospitals, which fights against childhood cancer. And essentially all the money that we raise goes towards families that are affected by childhood cancer. And personally, I have that connection. Jesse King, one of our best friends, he's club volleyball. Alex Ryan's best friend too, was unfortunately diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in March of 2021. And obviously our friend group was greatly affected by it, but all of this money that we raise and that you guys donate through Donor Drive and Thon for Diamonds goes to families like the Kings, and they benefit from all this money. They haven't even seen a single medical bill. They haven't seen money. They haven't even seen bills from traveling to places like Maryland, the gas bills, the hotel travel, and things like that. So it is really touching in the sense that this money that we know we are raising is going to families that truly need it. And then also an added benefit, like I am on club volleyball. Jesse King was on club volleyball. Alex Ryan is on club volleyball. All the other kids were in the stands supporting these people that are on the floor dancing for this 46 hours. It brings people together. It brings the whole Penn State together. And this year, Alex Ryan and I are trying to dance. And traditionally, Penn State Club Volleyball has 3 dancer spots. I wasn't originally in one of those. Alex Ryan wasn't originally in one of those. And then this year, we got 5 dancers because based on the money that we earned last year. And now we're still excited to IDC. So we allow some of our other friends to dance. We all get to dance, and it's going to be so fun. But the more money that we raise, the better chance that we have to dance and support the Kings. Overall, I am very excited to support Thon, and I hope that everybody can enjoy that as well. I can't even like physically describe the way that Thon is to every. It's a feeling. Ultimately, I know Thon.org. If you visit during Thon weekend, which is the weekend after Valentine's Day, you can see a little glimpse of what it is. But it's the 46-hour, no sleeping, no sitting, no dancing, or dancing marathon.
Yeah. So
No sitting, no sleeping marathon.
no. So a little bit of background, because Jesse King has really gone through a real tough time here. So
yeah. So Jesse King in March of 2021 was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and actually very recently, this past very beginning of November, end of October, was his 1 year since completing radiation. So we've gotten to see his family plenty of times before then, but recently they've all been coming to tailgate. We've been having a great time with them. I visited him a few times on my way home from school. I know some of my friends have visited him on his way home from school, but recently he's been around, his family's been around. It's been a great time seeing them. He's still undergoing various physical and cognitive therapies, but so far he's making strides, and fingers crossed, we can only hope for the best. I'm very excited for him.
Yeah, it's I mean, from what I had read earlier, like he went home and had a routine checkup, and then the whole world changed for him. So
yeah, so back March 2021, I mean, we had finished our freshman year. We went on our vacation together. We all clicked instantly. It was a great time. August, we went on vacation, had our fun tailgate season, Penn State football. They're great until they lose, haha. But up until had Thon together, that was our COVID Thon together. Jesse King was our Thon chair. He did a great job. He planned all of it. We all went through his schedule, house hopped. It was so fun. And then it was either right before, right after spring break, he went home for like a routine checkup. He was eating some stuff and it wasn't feeling right. And then all of a sudden he was air vac'd from his regular routine checkup to Hershey. And then since then, it was just kind of like downhill. It was just very much a shock from there.
yeah.
And then he was in a medically induced coma for 60 to 90 days. Or no, it was 90 days. And then 6 months later, he was finally released from the hospital. Which was like tough for all of us. But again, he did complete chemo and radiation. He's been a full year out. And as of now, officially, there's no active cancer. He hasn't been officially declared cancer-free, but no active cancer, so it's been good so far.
Yeah, that's the best you can hope for. Yeah. It's really interesting to see that he was actually a chair. Like, he was involved with this Thon and all this before. Now he's, a beneficiary of it. But before that, that he was so involved, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Even more incredible, though, even before he was a chair at Penn State, I don't know if you've heard of Cumberland Valley in Pennsylvania, but they apparently have a great mini-thon, and Jesse and his friends were on the board for their mini-thon, so they were even in charge of raising funds before they even got to Penn State.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So I remember our freshman year, he was even like he wasn't officially our Thon chair, but he was incredibly involved, being like, everybody, make sure you send your Thon envelopes in, make sure you write them, make sure you come to the 5K, all that stuff. Then he was our Thon chair, and now he's again reaping the benefits.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah. At least it's a good thing it's there. So the Thon. That is, I think I was reading that's the biggest philanthropic, or however you say that, university philanthropic activity in the world. Yeah, activity in the world. Is that right?
Yeah. So, Penn State Thon is the largest student-run philanthropy in the world. It is entirely students. Every single year that they run through people, it is all students that are running it from the very top to the very bottom, which is part of the reason it's like it's so exciting is it really does just bring everybody in the university together. No matter what the motive is, no matter what how much time people have to give, it brings I can't say all 40,000 kids together, but
Well, so I read somewhere that Penn State that the student population is actually like 98,000 or something like that.
so at University Park, which is in State College, Pennsylvania, center of the city, is I think around 43,000, but including
Wow.
all the people that are in World Campus, all the satellite campuses and everything, it does bring it to almost 100,000. And honestly, a lot of them are still involved in Thon. I don't know what the exact medium is for them, but it is still a university wide opportunity for people to get involved in a philanthropy opportunity. And it's something that everybody cares about too. Everybody's affected by childhood cancer at some point or another. And it like truly does just bring everybody together. It's very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah. Well, this has been an interesting marriage, with our league and your project. Talking to your dad, we were sort of intermediaries thinking about this, and then you came forward with this idea, which is just absolutely awesome. It really fits into our league's uh, what would you call it, Preston?
Our wheelhouse, I guess, would be the
Our
best way to
wheelhouse.
put it.
Anyways, yeah, we're big on helping others, and so if people wanted to reach out and support this, I think I'm going to see if Preston can put up the barcode for one, and maybe the if you could send us the link, because I know of
Yeah.
at least one person in our league that didn't trust clicking on barcodes. There's a bunch of old guys in here.
Appropriate,
Yeah,
appropriate.
so maybe we'll get that link as well, and you could flash it up here, Preston. And I know it's in the ad in during the intermissions, but I don't think we can talk about it enough.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely have that on here. And as soon as I figure out what you mean by a barcode, we'll include that as
Yeah.
well.
Okay,
So
Do you
a
mean a
QR
QR
code.
code? Okay.
QR code. Yeah,
yeah,
sorry,
QR code. I
Yeah,
originally did send the QR code, which again, I mentioned my friend Alex, who is also one of Jesse's best friends. He also technically has a donor drive. Between the two of us, it all goes together, but I wanted to throw mine in, throw his in. If you wanted Jesse King's story, that's also in the QR code. And then
Okay.
just Fawn
Yes.
in general is in the QR code. But I can absolutely send you guys like my personal link if people are interested in just like that. They know it's more trustworthy at that point, which is totally fine. But overall, any dollar amount counts. Everything obviously goes to a great cause, between whether it be medical costs, parking costs at the hospital, gas costs to get to the hospital. It all truly is very meaningful. My friend's family hasn't seen a single bill because of it, but I can get you all the links, whether it be just one or all of them.
Yep, for sure. We'll do that. I think at this point too, I'm going to challenge all our guys drivers that are out there, because this has been a win-win. You stepped up to sponsor our newest Xfinity division. That allowed us to have a broadcast and make it very viable. So everybody, and we've got a lot of guys that are running that league now. They're enjoying that in large part because of your support, which we really thank you for. But it's now our turn to thank you for doing that. So guys, if you can afford it, there's a lot of the younger guys maybe can't, but some of us older guys are in a better place for sure. I know some of the salty dogs have already stepped up, and just if you can support this, we really ask you to. Um, but before we go, I wanted to talk about a couple other things, because something happened this summer, which was, I know your dad, it was a lifetime dream to do. And you guys, well, tell us what you did this summer as a family, because I think this is so cool.
Oh, yeah. This summer, we were lucky enough to boat, raft, or whatever you're going to call it, all 288 miles of the Colorado River.
Oh, that's cool.
Right through the Grand Canyon.
Very
So-
exciting. And my personal, that was his experience.
Oh,
My
yeah.
personal was partway through, we ended up at one of the great caves, and somebody brought like 4 or 5 spike ball nets. So me and my sisters got to enjoy spike ball in the Grand Canyon. That was
Wow.
a phenomenal experience.
And not
I
not
think,
one that many people get to have.
Yeah.
oh, absolutely not.
No, you
I would
that
say it was definitely one of his experiences that he wanted to enjoy. But honestly, at this point, if I could advocate for any of my friend groups, anybody's family at this point, to try and enjoy the 8, 9, 10-day experience through the Grand Canyon, absolutely. Would you not want to see the uncensored stars? The bugs went to bed at night.
was
Enjoy
it.
some spike ball.
Did you sleep under the stars
Absolutely. We
every
didn't
night?
even use a tent. It was straight up on the cot. You just saw the stars at night. It was beautiful.
So, did you find it spiritual at all, or like was it moving that way, like emotionally, just going through the belly of the Grand Canyon, literally?
I feel like I don't know if I personally found it spiritual, but I thought it was just a very unique experience because they shared with us. I don't remember exactly what the statistic was. I don't know if it was like 14% or 14,000 of people that or 1,400 of people that go through the Grand Canyon end up like literally in the Grand Canyon, but it's a very small amount of people that actually end up in the Grand Canyon, which is why it felt more unique and more enjoyable almost. But I've also never seen the stars at that capacity either. Some people saw the Milky Way for the very
Yes.
first
Yeah.
time, which
Yeah.
I thought was incredible. I hope everybody gets to see the Grand Canyon or see the
The
Milky
Milky
Way.
Way. Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's phenomenal. The bugs also, like the ants and like the little mosquitoes and stuff, went to bed at night, so you didn't even have to worry about those. Unfortunately, the Grand Canyon or the Colorado River looked like chocolate milk, but if you like chocolate milk, it's super fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a
Yeah.
great time.
No, my
I
brother.
recommend it to anybody at that
My
point.
brother. I think he's 85 now. And this is a few. I think he's might have been 80 by the time he hiked down the Grand Canyon, like down one side and up the other with a grandson. So,
Wow.
I won't be doing that, but I'm
What's
impressed by it.
stopping you?
We won't talk about that right now, but down the road, I might be able to do that. But it's certainly a challenge, that's for sure. It's not just sitting in a
Keep it
boat
on the
going
bucket
down.
list.
It's got to you got to walk down, you got to walk up. Walking up was I think a little more challenging, but
We walked up and then we walked down. So
Oh, did you? Oh, so you didn't come down like in a helicopter or nothing. You had to actually
No.
work your way down
We
there.
walked up first and we were like, "Oh man, this stinks. We have to get back down there." But it was better.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is totally awesome. So, one other question I had, because you and your sisters, I'm not going to ask your ages, but I know you and your older sister are pretty close, or your Lucy's younger.
Yeah,
You're only what, a year or two apart,
2, yeah.
and then your third sister is how old is she now, roughly?
She's like 7 years younger than I am.
Okay, so my one son has three daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Two, one's 23, one's I think 21, and then they have like an 8-year-old sister. So I'm just wondering now. Your sister she's going to Villanova. She's a starter on the girls' the basketball team. So we should give her a shout out. And I suspect we might hear more about her after Thon. That your sponsorship carries past that. So
Yeah.
And I know you guys had all sorts of ideas, but I'm just wondering, when you guys are both off to university now or college, when my youngest granddaughter could not wait. She was so excited when her older sister was leaving to get married because she would inherit her room. So I'm just wondering, is there anything like that going on in your family where the youngest one is like almost pushing you out the door?
Yeah, so in our family, I wouldn't say that she's necessarily wanting our room, but it's more a closet at this point. I came home this past break and she was like, "You have nothing in your closet." And I was like, "Well, it's all like college with me. What do you want?" Like, I don't know. So I was like, "Oh, no worries. When I go to work this summer, I'll make sure I bring some extra clothes for you to wear," sort of thing. And it was the same with Lucy. Like, she's also at college, and she probably has slightly more clothes than I do at home, but it's nothing serious at that point. And I was like, all right, oh, I guess I'll bring my clothes home for you to wear over the summer. Like, we all have our rooms. It's fine. It's happy. I don't think she necessarily cares about that. It's just the fashion. It's kind of funny. And my rule is always, you can have whatever you want in my closet as long as when I come home, it's back in my closet. Like,
yeah, you don't want to know about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you borrow it, that's great. That's awesome. Yeah. Enjoy it. If I want to wear it, it better be where I thought it was.
Yeah.
So
go ahead,
when you find yourself at home over winter break, will your dad let you take a few laps in the sim rig, or is that off limits?
Oh, absolutely.
So if we had another ladies' night, would you come out to race?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll.
Wait, let me know when it is though, so I can get a few practice rounds in.
Oh yeah. Okay,
perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I got to say, your dad's a new addition to the league, but can't say enough about him. Just a super good guy, and he's on training wheels, I think, right now for a little bit of it's a learning experience, but he's coming on, and you just can't thank your whole family enough for supporting our league, and hopefully we can support you in this super worthwhile cause, and every dollar really goes to help somebody and take pain away and stress and everything else. So hopefully all of us can do whatever possible. So thanks for taking the time. I know you got this busy schedule in Florida, but what's the temperature there right now?
Oh, don't do that.
Last time I checked, I think it was somewhere around like 72 degrees. It's getting a little chilly today.
So it really hurts Preston because he was supposed to be at Disney World. Was it last week, Preston?
Last week.
And it got canceled at the last 11th hour. So
yeah, because that really the tropical storm that came through.
Yeah. So.
The worst.
Yeah. But anyways, just want to thank you for coming on. Just can't say enough about what you're doing, and just good luck, and we'll be following, so stay on your feet, girl, and keep on dancing.
Yeah. Thank you so much again from Fawn, Alex, and I, and Four Diamonds. Thank you so much. I love what you guys do. My dad has a ton of fun. I love when I come home and he's like, please try out the race. Like, next time you guys have a ladies race, I'll be into it. It's so fun. Thank you guys again for letting us sponsor the races and whatnot. It's a great time. And again, any dollar amount counts. Everybody that supports, whether it's donating or just sharing the videos and whatnot, it truly is a help. And thank you guys so much for just being a part of all of this. I mean, it's truly a worthwhile cause. And honestly, the races are a lot of fun. So,
yep. Let's just do it all. For sure. So
it's win-win for everybody.
That's right.
Thanks a lot for coming on, Olivia. Really appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your time down in Florida.
Oh, thank you so much. Have a great time where you are.
Thanks, Olivia. Yep, so we're back. It's been a few weeks. That's been the going rate for us here lately. It's been chaos, really. We've got a lot of stuff going on in the background. A lot of cars showing up in some races. So it's been a little bit busy, but lots of cool stuff on the horizon for sure.
Oh yeah, lots going on, man. It's really, we're into week 11. When you see this, we're going into championship week, and so exciting times. And then week 13's always got some crazy stuff, and we got a big announcement to make about that. And so it's one of that super busy time, and but exciting, super exciting times too.
Yeah, and challenges always happen this time of year too with the holidays going on. We're recording this on Wednesday night, the night before before Thanksgiving or American Thanksgiving at least.
Yeah.
So I know we had to keep making that clarification, but there's probably people that watch this from time to time because we don't talk about it as much as we used to that may not realize that Roger is indeed Canadian and I'm from Virginia in the United States. So obviously that presents some unique perspective from time to time.
We sat 50 feet apart at a racetrack once, but we've never met. So
Yeah, yeah, it's a winding tale.
it's crazy, man.
So
So
tell us. I know you were mentioning to me there, and it was news to me too that there had been a couple of schedule changes. So tell me about that a little
yeah,
bit.
so schedule changes internally, but people don't even know what the original schedule was. So other than executive and stuff, so we've got some really exciting stuff. First of all, the NASCAR stuff has just gone like right off the rails. I mean, I knew, we used to get like 10, 13 guys, and when we ran them on Saturday and Sunday mornings and Friday afternoons, and then I think we even canceled the truck one because we weren't getting guys show up. And I thought, these might work at nighttime. We'll try one. Wow, holy smokes! The first night with the trucks, we had 38 trucks out, and then it dropped. Dropping meaning like 30, 28,
Right.
and but then last night, I'm trying. Yeah, last
Yeah.
night. Forgetting what night we're doing. This is Wednesday. So last night, here we go. 38 trucks show up again. It's just like crazy, and there's guys signing up for the league. So one thing we want to talk about is what we're going to do. One thing we're going to do is spin off an asphalt league. So it's still all one league, but just for ease of management, we will have the coast to coast, and we may name it Dirt League and the Coast to Coast Asphalt League. So new guys applying can apply to both. It's not like a double fee or anything like that, but it just kind of we're getting more and more guys. We've had a few before that were would just run, say, wanted to run GT3s, road courses. So this way we can kind of keep those guys segregated. That way, if you're in the going forward, everybody's going to be invited into the asphalt league. If you're a member in good standing right now in the league, you're on. Bill Calder's actually literally in that process as we speak of inviting everybody to the new asphalt league that'll start next season. So then any new members, it'll be a 2,500 asphalt, like a oval, asphalt oval uh, limit to get into that. If it's dirt, then it's 2,500 on that side. If you're under 2,500 both, that's great. But in the past, we were struggling with, okay, this guy's over 2,500 in dirt, but he wants to run NASCAR. What do we do? So we're going to spin that league off. Like I say, everybody will be invited. You just have to accept your invite because the schedule will be based out of the asphalt league going forward next season. So there's that.
Yeah, and just to
Jump
clarify
in.
that, in case anybody doesn't understand, that is just a back end, for the most part, a back end iRacing structure change. It won't affect you for the most part.
No.
Once you've accepted that invite, everything will be the same. It is just really for our management purposes, but it's a structure change on the back end, and won't really affect you a whole lot other than needing to accept that invite in the first place.
Yeah. So again, it's just looking at the future. We just thought this is the way to go here. So we'll be doing that. Um, the Xfinity Series will become the NASCAR Trail. So it's actually there's a number of phases here. This thing has just been so popular and growing. What we're envisioning may not happen, but the the current rates that we're getting, I see it happening. The Truck Series will run on Tuesdays. The Xfinity Series will run on Thursdays, as it is. The Xfinity Series will be unique in that it will have two separate standings. There'll be a regular seasonal standings, the 12 weeks. I'm putting them to sleep here, but and then it's going to have the NASCAR Trail. So it'll be a whole different point structure in that. So you could be like, you know, if you're running the Xfinity Series, you could be like first in the seasonal 12-week series, but you might be fifth or sixth just because of the point structures and what races you show up for and all that sort of stuff. What we're hoping to do, I'll talk about now, what we're hoping to do going into the spring season is actually get it into a tiered system just like we have on Monday nights. So that the Truck Series would be a feeder system for Xfinity. Xfinity would be at the end of the winter season, we'll take the top to be determined, say 30 guys would be eligible to run the A Series. And then just like we do on Monday night, the top 10 drivers, if their IL is below it may be like 300, something like that. If their IL is their safety record is good enough, and they're finishing top 10, they can run the Xfinity Series that following week. That's what we're looking at down the road. So and we may have to do it just because of numbers. Like it's just like
Yeah.
we can hardly handle any more trucks.
We're at the point where it's like iRacing officials, where we're in the need of multiple splits. I mean, it's pretty close, all right? Like, I mean, it's not far from it. But I wanted to go back and clarify the points thing just a little bit, and you can stop me if I say anything that may have changed. But so the way that's going to work, and really the trail portion of this is going to start in the spring season, because it's going to follow basically there's a year-long schedule, right? And we're going to follow the Xfinity schedule as close to exact as we can. Obviously, we're not running on the weekends, so that presents some different challenges, and we'll have to work around things. But for the most part, it'll be exactly the same thing, and we'll fill in the gaps with just tracks that we run generally. A lot of times, those are super speedways or a little bit less technical tracks. So over the course of the 2023 calendar year, you'll have the 4 individual seasons that we run now, right? So it's just like iRacing seasons, and so they'll be on their own. So we'll run a winter season, and guys will earn points. But at the same time, when you're running those trail races, the ones that follow the Xfinity calendar, you're going to be earning points in basically another division that you're running at the same time to follow the year-long calendar schedule. So that presents everybody with the option to, if you want to get started in the middle of next season, you still have a points championship that you can run, but there is a much longer extended championship. So if your first season next year doesn't go so well, you're still very much in the hunt for the whole thing. Now, I believe we'll try to do probably like a playoff format for this as well, because the races will still be meaningful for the guys running what will be the fall season at that point. So there's a lot of stuff here. I think it'll be really cool. I don't know if this has been done or tried before, but I mean, I can't seem to punch any holes in it. It just seems like it's going to work out pretty well. So I'm excited about it. I think it'll create some intrigue we haven't had before.
The one nice thing too is Sim Race Hub supports the championship run. That whole bonus point system that they use for the 16 and the 12 and all that stuff.
Yeah, great.
There is already an integrated system. It's an add-on that will work for that. I did a little bit of testing of it, and it was awesome. So
cool.
So it's set up. So basically, the truck series would have next year, the 4 seasons, it'll have 4 champions, one for each season. The Xfinity Series would have 5 champions. It would have 1 for each season, plus whoever wins the NASCAR Trail, and we'll probably have a bigger trophy. I mean, that's a big deal. It's a whole year, and it'll be something. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the eNASCAR Series has 6 drop weeks. We'll probably do something like that, but the details are to come. And mainly, it's we've got this sort of overhead structure that we've put together, and now we just got to fill in the cross the T's, dot the I's on it. So it's all exciting anyways. It's love our dirt stuff. There's no doubt we love our dirt stuff, but this has just been a real nice distraction, and it's a whole change of pace, change of strategy, and the guys are learning. The other thing too I wanted to mention is we're in the process right now of putting together a guidebook, or I don't know what you want to call it, or a rule guideline. There's nothing out there. I was looking, and we've got a lot of guys. We are not like a top level NASCAR league. We've got guys that are dirt guys. We've got guys that, I'm one of them too. You were patiently explaining that to Roland Olsen in the one race about why he got a black flag, because he passed pace car before it passed the yellow cones. There's all these little unique intricacies, and so we're going to try to document that and put it together, because for some of the veterans, you guys know all that stuff, but there's a lot of us that are, still learning, and so there's a lot to it, but it's exciting, man. It's really exciting.
Yeah, well, and you saying that is a great point. It's a collective effort. I mean, because there's some NASCAR stuff I know about. There's some iRacing NASCAR stuff that I understand. And there's probably 3 or 4 times as much that I don't know either. So I've been lucky enough to have a couple of guys in the room with me that know it, but I
Yep.
mean, we need feedback. We want your feedback and ideas, especially about stuff like this. The planning stages are the most fun when we're coming up with new stuff like this. We want your ideas, and I will tell you, I know guys feel like they get shot down sometimes when we're in a race and they say, hey, we should do it this way. Well, guys, we don't typically make changes in the middle of a race. We don't typically make changes in the middle of a season unless we just really kind of have no choice. But we definitely don't usually make changes in the middle of a race. So sometimes you'll get barked at a little bit, for that. It's not because we don't want the ideas. It's just really not the best time. So if you can find the time to send, a message and say, hey, I really think this might work for us, explain why it might work. Please do that for us because it does help us. And that's how, you might think of something that we won't come up with ourselves. So please feel free to send us that stuff. Just make sure you're doing it at the right time, I guess is what I'll say.
Yeah, and I know I got called out this week for being, nasty and short with people, and which was valid. Which was valid. I think we had discussed this before we come on air that I put the bad hat on before I even got in there intentionally, because there's so many guys we need. We've had issues where there's so much chatter that the admin can't communicate, and sometimes the driving's been a little bit questionable, but so we need to get a handle on this. It's been a real overload for our volunteers, for the reviewers and everything else, trying to get this under control. So the flip side of it is if we don't get it under control, we would cancel it, and it's too good of a thing. And so we're getting there. So yeah, if you got suggestions, please put them forward. And I'm going to challenge some of the better drivers here too. We need your input. We're putting this manual together. I want to find some of the more experienced guys, have you guys read through it and say, oh, you missed this, you missed that, because we need some super tolerance for. There's guys that want to learn, they just don't know, and so the faster everybody gets there, the better it's going to be. But the racing's really improved. I thought, since the beginning of the season, it's gotten much better. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, and maybe from our perspective, it may be at times a little bit easier for us to see because we get down in the weeds of what happened here and there and that kind of stuff. And generally speaking, yeah, there are a lot less, to put it bluntly, stupid mistakes being made. And now it's just more like racing deal stuff, which we still need to tidy up because in the end, somebody still made a mistake when that happens. But it's a lot more innocent, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. And it is. It's getting much better. We're seeing less cautions most week, but that's one of the things, with NASCAR and that style of racing. It's going to vary a whole lot more drastically than it does at our dirt tracks. So, we're learning that stuff too. We're kind of in a data collection mode at this point. And so we have to, learn how our league handles certain things. So I know, from time to time we get suggestions because, you've been in another league that does it a certain way. But we do have to consider things and how they affect the collective group that we're used to because we can't, throw big swinging changes at everybody that they're not used to. So there's different things we have to consider.
Yeah. So there was that. So I guess the other thing we want to talk about, because it's just been released when you hear this, is the new schedule for next season. But before that, actually, I should jump into week 13. So we do have a special event coming up, and that's Every Child Matters. This has been a pet project of mine. I've been wanting to do this since way back in the summer. I'm not going to get into all the details of that, but that we've talked about it before, and we'll talk about it again. But it's just Ashweekon Speedway has been generous again. They're supporting this. Basically, Sunday and Monday of week 13 will be King of the Wing, and we're hoping to turn this into a traditional week 13 event. So it'll be a 4-race event. Sunday night it'll be Lima Land, and then I had Eldora, and then Monday night will be Volusia, and we'll end at Knoxville with a 50 lapper. So the first 3 are qualifiers. The details will be coming. I'm not going to get into all the details of that, but basically, there'll be prize money. There will be a trophy, and thanks to Ashweekon Speedway, and all 100% of registration will go to Every Child Matters, and we can talk about the details of that later. But just trying to give everybody sort of the heads up on that, and it'll be $10, so it's just $10 to enter. Um, and it should be a great night. It'll all be broadcast, and looking forward to that. And like I say, there'll be a King of the Wing, hopefully every
Week
week
13.
13. Yeah.
So, out of curiosity, is this going to be open to just league drivers or open to the public, or do you know yet?
That's something I've struggled with a little bit. One part of me says league, another part says Dirt Alliance, because those guys worked well with us. I'm really reluctant to open it up to, I won't name names, but the guys that have been the biggest pain in the butt. You know, uh, the the guys coming in from outside. But I know there's a bunch of Oshweekend drivers.
That's why I was asking, actually.
Yeah, that may want to get involved in this, and so I haven't quite figured that out. And this is just the first, and it may morph into something a little bit different for the next one. So we might just keep it internal just to keep it simple this time,
Hmm.
because it's sort of a short planning stage, but it should be a great event. Those are always fun. And it'll be fixed. It'll be a fixed 360 event.
Cool.
So should be good. And and I know some guys want open, but you know what? This is a fundraiser. We're trying to make money. We want as many people involved as we can get in. So that's where that comes from. So there's that, and we got all sorts of interesting things happening. In between those two races on Sunday and Monday, we're hoping to have that small town challenge that's going between Aylett and Clarence. So have you guys worked out any more details on that, or?
We have. I need to finalize some things. There was some disagreements over who had the official copy of the rule book, because I had written my own and not shared it with Steve, and I'm pretty sure he did the same thing with me. So I think we came to a determination that all our drivers are legal to be on the roster, which I felt like at this stage in the game was a little late to be making claims like that my drivers weren't legitimate. I feel like we're just playing head games now, but that's okay. We can
Part of it.
Yeah, we can win those too. Just like we'll win the small town showdown. But yeah, I think more than likely what we've landed on is doing, because most of my guys come from an asphalt kind of background. So we'll probably do like a street stock race at Richmond on Monday or on Sunday, and then do a street stock race at Knoxville, which is in Iowa, obviously, on Monday. And so that way we kind of get to have a race in each state, and should be a fairly similar experience in the cars, on each track, obviously. So I think that probably works out the best. But we haven't finalized that yet, so I'm going to go ahead and tell Steve that's how it's going to be. And so that's what we'll do.
That's what that could turn into a seasonal event too. Like there could be challenges back after this one's over, and who knows?
Yeah, like what town is going to want to step up and try to beat us next?
Well, yeah. But we'd have to set rules like how you have to have at least 5 members from that town to be.
Yeah, I think that's the part we haven't figured out yet, and I actually would love some suggestions. My gut at this point has been because that's the part we haven't figured out. It's a format, like to figure out who wins, which maybe that's pretty important. But I think maybe average points is probably the way to go at the moment. But there may be a better way, and that would give us the ability to, I guess, not count extra drivers, or they're going to count, but they're going to skew you in the wrong direction. So having less could be beneficial if they're good and that kind of thing. So I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
Just a warning, Mr. Mayor. I think he's trying to slant all this in his own favor. So just keep your eyes open. That's all. I'm just warning you.
That's what politicians do, Roger. So it's fine. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And we always do a few fun events through week 13. But speaking of fun events, we've got something coming up this new season. I think we haven't talked about it. And I think it's going to catch people by a bit of a surprise, and I'm really excited. So, how about I just briefly go through the schedule, and we'll just talk about. So Monday night Madness. This is our original series. It's our I don't know, what is it, 18th season or something like that. So it'll be Raiders, Rebels, and Renegades. The Rustlers are being morphed. We'll get into that in a bit. Um, I'm not going to talk about the matinees because there's a little bit that might just change there. But basically, the matinees will be the same as they are. Might be enhanced a little bit. Tuesday night, we will have a combination. The numbers have not been great for the wingless and the 410s. So what we're going to do is combine them. It'll be midgets, non-wing, at 410s, alternating every third week, and that'll be one series, and that'll fire off at 7 o'clock. We're moving the Pro Late models over to Tuesday nights. That will follow. Pro Late models, I have to say, and I don't know if it's because they're piggybacked with the NASCAR stuff, but like the last 2 weeks, we've had 20 plus cars both weeks. So something's changed there, and it's all for the better. So Pro Lates will go Tuesday night, and then the NASCAR pickups will finish the night off at 9 o'clock. Hometown Heroes. I'm going to jump to Thursday first. So Thursday, we're moving the big blocks away from Hometown Heroes back to their normal home. It was an experiment that didn't really work. I think tonight, even I think I counted 11 cars or something. That used to be a 20 plus. We were sending people home in that division when it was on Thursday night. So back to Thursday, piggybacked on the 358. So we'll have the 358s at 7, the big blocks, small blocks / big blocks at 8, and then, of course, Xfinity Series will run at 9. Or actually, it'll run potentially earlier. It could start as early as 8:30. But it'll be the third race on Thursday Night Thunder. So, and Joe on Friday night, he's not going to change anything. It's the same. It's the 358s, limited late models, and 305s. That they proved to be a real staple for him. So let's talk about Hometown Heroes. Hometown Heroes, the 305s that we've been running there all along, we're combining that with the Rustlers. So the Rustlers was like, it was a 305 division this season. It's always been the D division for Monday night for that tiered division. So we're combining that. There will be a few drivers that's the only division that, if their IL's too high for Raiders, they'll be limited to running only the 305s. But having said that, the 305s open to it's the Hometown Heroes 305 division. So kind of combined the two. That'll be at 7. The 360s will run at 8, and then we will have every week. It's a weekly series, championship points, a 50-lap street stock enduro every Wednesday night. So we've reduced it from 75 down to 50. Caution laps do not count. There is no limit on incidents. In fact, the point structure will be that I haven't finalized it yet, but for instance, the guy who gets the most incidents on that night will get 25 bonus points. The second guy will get 20, 15, 10, and 5. So, contact is encouraged. I'm telling you guys, these have always been a belly laugh. Your gut hurts after these things. But now there's a little bit at stake, where this is a very team-oriented thing. But the other thing, too, is, we've had a few guys get suspended for intentional contact, from different things. It's a free-for-all here. If there's those guys, I know I've done it. I know pretty much everybody else. That guy's going to get it tonight. That guy's going to get it tonight. This is the place to do it. It's no holds barred. There's no black flags. There's no incident limit. It's unlimited. I think, it'll be unlimited repairs, and just 50 laps of chaos. And
but we do need 3 reviewers to sign up to review the races.
And there's no protest, by the way, no protest. So it's and we'll see if it's this. Hopefully it's as much fun at the end as it is in the beginning, and we don't lose car count. Because a big part of that is having a good car count. If you can get 25, 30, 35 cars out there. So it's just a qualifying, and then 50 laps, green flag falls, and every night the pit notes we'll just announce who the top 5 guys are in the standings, and so we'll know who has targets on their backs, and it should be a great team event if nothing else. So I know our room is just it's all belly laughs. So
Trophies a crushed up PBR can, I assume.
that's there you go. Yeah, yeah, we'll have to come up with something unique on that one. Yeah, some recycled thing or whatever. But
Yeah.
it should be and we're still looking for a few ideas on that. So if anybody's got some ideas, feel free. But I can't wait. I think it's just it's our league is a community. It really has become everybody pretty much knows the other guys. We know each other's tendencies. I know I'm sure your team does it, every team does it. When we're, the Salty Dogs does it, and I know our names are being mentioned elsewhere. But we're all talking about, oh, geez, I got so and so in front of me and so behind me, and I got to watch out for this guy, and so it's everybody knows who everybody is now, and I think and everybody can take it in good nature. I know, I'm sure I think I've almost had Kyle Moon and split in the gut. I've tried to take him out and I keep missing him. So it's
Well, I know that's the thing. Like these enduros, like I've done probably 3 or 4 of them now with the league, and you get a few in, and you start realizing learning to defend against the contact is probably more important than being able to make the contact. There's some real strategy, so I'm really anxious to see what's going to happen when they're back to back, like week after week. So it's going to get really interesting.
The other interesting thing is that as of this press time here, we haven't picked a track. The rumor is that there are no tracks coming out. I'm fine with that. Just fix the damage model. If they could fix all the glitches on the tracks that they currently have, fix the damage model, I'd be more than happy with that. But having said that, for Hometown Heroes, the one thought I've had is maybe picking 2 tracks, and it will alternate between the 2. So it could be, they have to be picked, especially in the context of an enduro of there might be some secrets there of what each track has different qualities of can you cut across the middle, all that sort of stuff.
So run me down, and I'm hoping you can because it's been a while. What tracks have we done it at? We've done it at Port Royal.
But Cedar Lake, we did I-55, we did Port Royal, we did Lucas. And I don't know what was before
we've done Knoxville.
Not for hometown.
Maybe we floated that one.
It's too. That's the problem. Like that in Williams Grove, too big a track. The night run's too long. So, and I know just for the dirt mod guys, Barker has talked about maybe alternated, not running the same track each night, but maybe the ones will run on a short track, the others will run on a longer track, just to kind of balance out the broadcast.
Yeah, that's a thought.
Because if we run overtime, we start having to pay guys extra. So we're trying to, they were always sort of cognizant of that. So, anyways,
the thought that crossed my mind was Lernerville, and granted, we have to consider the 2 divisions that run earlier in the night.
Yes.
But can you imagine an enduro at Lernerville?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Guys, will they hide over the hill?
Just gave my strategy away.
Or you just, it'd be good. And but anyways, so we might get all the drivers involved in picking. We'll maybe throw up 4 or something and say pick 2. But it should be interesting, and I think it'll be good. I know a few guys got bored of Lucas. Yeah. I love Lucas just because it's pretty close to Osrican in design, but you keep running the same one, it gets a little bit old after a while. So
and Lucas Oil, in my opinion, doesn't like it. To me, the track doesn't wear all that differently each time. Like it's generally about the same. And there aren't a whole lot of unique features. Like you get tracks with like weird hills and stuff like that, and it's just pretty flat.
My problem with Lucas is that, the front straight looks like the back straight, and it's kind of like, where's the pits, right? You end up pulling in by the ambulance. So until I learned that, only the advertising was on one end and not on the other. But it's all good. So we can't wait for that. And
that'll be cool.
Looking forward to lots coming. So and then championship week, there's a lot. Something I wanted to talk about was we lost Nick Vickery to the league. Nick is there was nothing. I've talked to Nick. It was nothing to do with the league, but he's sold some of his equipment. May come back a later time. I know his brother has equipment. He may show up for special events. But we'll miss Nick. Nick was a workhorse. He was on the executive committee, review committees. He was in the broadcast booth quite a bit. Provided wraps for a lot of guys and the league.
And he packed up his stickers and went home.
Packed up his stickers and went home. So that was a big loss. I guess a side benefit is that it's opened up a bunch of championship runs for because he was dominating 3 or 4 this season. But I can't wish Nick nothing but the best going forward, and we're staying in touch with him and hope to see him back somewhere down the road. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But thanks for everything you've done, Nick. Can't say enough about it.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm teasing too because I always looked forward to seeing how many stickers he was going to post. And frankly, I don't know how he was earning them that quickly, because it was like he'd post one week and then a couple weeks later he'd have 12 more stickers. And
you can only win 1 per division per season. I mean, that was like, it's just like holy crap,
Yeah.
He was. So, anyways, a quality guy, just a class act all the way around, and Can't thank him enough. He's been a big pivotal part of this league, that's for sure. So,
and I'm sure he won't miss an episode of the Pitside podcast.
Yeah. So if you're watching, Nick, thanks, buddy. We appreciate everything you've done and hope to see you back. Something that I did want to mention too was big milestone broken this week. I finally got all the expenses done for the charity event, and we broke the $20,000. We smashed the $20,000 barrier. I think it was $2,800 and some odd dollars. It was a record, and it put us over, since the league started, over $20,000 raised for various charities. So, drivers, everybody give yourself a pat on the back. I know it's certainly a good feeling that we not only have fun with what we do, but we help others along the way doing it. So it's just can't say enough about that. Should not go unmentioned.
Yeah, we hear guys thank you and I on a pretty regular basis for putting the league together, and I mean that's not it's not false that that we're doing stuff in the back end, but this is our opportunity to step aside and let them drivers have the spotlight and get the congratulations, because frankly that's bigger than the league, raising that kind of money for an incredible cause. And that's just because guys step up. I know they're out to have a good time, but they're still stepping up and donating their hard-earned money. And so this is our chance to say thank you. You guys deserve every ounce of credit we can give you. I mean, that's huge. $20,000 for a startup nonprofit, league that
cartoon
making
racing.
Yeah, I mean, we're just getting by each day trying to figure this out the best we can, and so that's not even close to a small number, and that's has nothing to do with us. So it's really incredible, and it means a lot to me, and I know it does to Roger too.
Yep, absolutely, for sure. It's the most rewarding part of this league, that's for sure.
100%.
The friendships I've gained and the good that we've done for others. So that's great. And maybe do you have anything else maybe on that note?
No, I think now's a great time for us to go and talk to somebody else who's doing something for other people. So we're going to jump over and talk to Olivia Olsen, who I mentioned at the beginning of the show. Her dad is involved. Roland, if you've seen him out on the track, has been, at least I see him out in NASCAR stuff most frequently. And they're sponsoring our Xfinity division for the rest of this season and next season. So she's doing some cool stuff. So we'll jump over and talk to her. I'm not going to tell you we'll see you back here next week, because frankly at this point we never know. But we will definitely see you next time. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you again here real soon.
Take care, everybody.